Hey there everyone, Luke here, and I never thought it would happen. I generally never thought this would happen. Now, for as long as that, let me think, since 2017, I've always had We Never Learn as like my favourite harem series, favourite romance series, all that good stuff. But in the past few weeks, past couple of weeks, it has been knocked off by a new series. Yep, something came along to knock off my favourite harem romance comedy series. I know this is kind of a departure from talking about Yozakura, but I need to just say this. I need to recommend this series. Now, what is that series? It's the 100 Girlfriends Who Love You, who really, 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 really love you. That's getting an anime coming out in October, and people just need to go and read this series because it is just like the most insane concept ever. Of just like, the guy is gonna have 100 girlfriends and he's gonna date them all at the same time. You're just like, what? And then when you start reading it, like, okay, I see where they're going with this, and I genuinely believe it's one of the funniest things ever. Hoping to do a video on Control Chaos regarding it and talking about different elements, what works and what doesn't. So look forward to that in the near future. But seriously, go and read that series. And if you don't feel like reading, just watch the anime when it comes out, because oh my god, I cannot get enough of this. I cannot get enough of that series right now. And of course, We Never Learn will always hold a special place with me, because like with Dr. Stone, and to a lesser extent now looking back, but not, mostly Promised Neverland, We Never Learn, Dr. Stone, they were the three series that basically, when I was going through my hardships, helped me out a lot. But yeah, 100 Girlfriends, really crazy concept. Go and read it. Wanted to give that as like a manga recommendation. But yeah, enough talking about that. Let's dive into Mission Yozakura family. Alright, so this will be chapter 185, titled Operation Nursing Alpha. So a bit of a departure from the previous chapters, but yeah, we've had Operation Mission Yozakura family, and now we get Operation Nursing Alpha. So this is obviously continuing on from what happened at the end of the last chapter, where we got Alpha back from Bad Alpha, and this is like the ramifications of what happened in that whole situation. So we start off with basically after Alpha and Hiyofumi got the stamps from Keigo and Shion. And it takes place a day after all of that. So Alpha's been in the state for like 24 hours at this point, and we have a nice nod to when Taya was sick in the Yozakura family mansion, when that mansion was being invaded, and Musume had to give Taya her blood in order to keep him alive. We have Hiyofumi saying, "Alpha, please don't leave me alone," which was kind of reminiscent of what Musume said in that chapter. But of course, Alpha is not really dying here, he's just generally sick, and it's a ramification of what happens when Bad Alpha takes over. As we see Futsberg bringing Hiyofumi away, like, now come on Hiyofumi, he needs to get better, and she's just like, no, let me be with him, let me be with him. But if you go with him and it's catching his cold, that's fine with me. I'll take his cold, I'll take his pain, I'll take whatever he does, just please. And also, when you bury Alpha, bury me as well. And I love this about Futsberg. It's just like, yeah, I've seen this before. This is basically just Koricha right now, and yeah, she's not wrong. But we see that Alpha has a fever of 120, not 120, 102. No cough, no coughing or sneezing. So yeah, it's just a cold. And she goes on to say, like, oh, if only Nanano was here, he'd whip up a special medicine infused to perk you up, but he's not here, so now just leave the resting to us. No, you don't want a Nanano there. And we're going to get into what's going on with Nanano at the end of the chapter. I did say to Party Jumps that I would mention my theory about that at the end of the chapter when we get to that, because I do have a theory of what could actually be going on here. I'm on board with the theory of, like, it's going to be Operation Rescue Nanano, and that's probably going to be the challenge for Hiyofumi and Alpha in order to get the stamp from Nanano. That's what's probably being set up here. But yeah, you don't want Nanano coming along to like get everything better. Because if you remember that chapter where Keigo just from one sneeze, Nano was just like closing down everything in the mansion, we're gonna inject you guys with a super powerful drug here that's gonna make you pass out before you can even scream here, but it's gonna get rid of the common cold. So yeah, we don't want Nano here. But yeah, Fruitsburg says like, oh, I have fear reducing pills for now, so you can take this with honey ginger tea and let me feel your forehead, and if you think you can get some egg rice or cold rice porridge, and I'll make up that for you. And here Fumi goes into an inner monologue. She mentions that Alpha keeps this a secret from everyone. It always happens when Bad Alpha comes out, and she bets Bad Alpha is so bad that he's really hard on Alpha's body when he's out too, and that does make sense. Like when you have because I feel like Bad Alpha just brings out so much negative emotions from Alpha's original personality that when he's actually brought back into a controlling state, it just takes all its strain at once and just basically means like, right, I am out for a good while here. But Hiyofumi feels like that the fact that they are twins, they should be going through the exact same pain and should be feeling everything. Yeah, Hiyofumi, you can feel separate pains. Just because you're twins, doesn't mean you have to feel everything all the time between one twin and the other. So yeah, as Alpha is slowly recovering and being grateful for Fruitsburg for what she's doing, she starts to depart. But my mom, she's just gonna go and buy some easy to digest food from the market, and yeah. And that she will only be gone for a few minutes, but as soon as she leaves the room, we have Keigo and Shion just basically grabbing onto her and being like, we've missed you so much, it's been 5 years, I can't believe it's been 5 years right now, you have no idea how much time we've missed from you, we want your motherly love right now. That's basically what they go in here as food, as they say, oh, you brought fruits and Johnny Cups, thanks for that, that's helpful, but it's hard, but everything is hard to walk it. So Fruitsburg's basically realizing like, oh, you bought these sweets and snacks, that's nice, but I can't breathe here and I can't walk. So can you guys get off me? I let you have all the hugs you wanted yesterday. So I love that. Like even after getting all the hugs from Fruitsburg from the previous day after the fight and after getting the stamps, they're still like, no, we have to get on it because we've been without you for 5 years. We want that motherly love from you anymore. And I love the fact that Shion just basically calls out Keigo for saying that, of being like, quit being a creepy cat boy, when even she is doing the exact same thing right here. Right here, as they continue on and basically insult Fruitsburg here by saying like, "Oh, you don't look like a granny. I thought you would look like a granny and everything like that. Oh, it looks like you've gotten younger. You aren't an old granny in the least, and yeah, that's only going to cause you to showing off." Fruitsburg's like bang, 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 and just see the stereotypical lumps on the head coming out here. Yeah, you two deserve that, because even though she looks like she's very vulnerable, Fruitsburg could kick your ass very, 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 very easily. And she's just like and after bashing Keigo and Shion on the head, she's like, okay, I've got some peaches and tangerines here, and I love this back and forth here between them. As like, yeah, we're all better that we didn't feel a pain about that from Fruitsburg. So yeah, give them to me. I'll feed them Alpha. It's my chance to have Uncle Points right here. And Fruitsburg's just like, who said anything about Uncle Points? And she was just like, no, that's not fair. I need to do this so that I can have Auntie Points. And again, Fruitsburg's just like to Shion, where is this coming from with Auntie Points? So I love that. Like, they're just like fighting back and forth. Like, I want to be the best uncle. No, I want to be the best auntie. No, I'm the best uncle. No, I'm the best auntie. Like, come on, guys, can't you get along? What am I talking about? It's the Yozakura families. They'll fight over the most trivial of things. So as Shion and Keigo continue fighting, we see this little bit here of just Koricho being a spider, just crawling down the side of the wall here, as we get his inner monologue of, oh, infiltrating this room last night was definitely the right move. Just you wait, Alpha. I'm sure a young boy like you still craves your loving human warmth, and let me rock you to sleep in my arms. So yeah, Koricho being as creepy as ever. And I love the fact that Hiyofumi just basically has like a sensor right now of like, oh, creatures being creepy, detector, tingling, I have to stop him. And sure enough, she uses her yo-yo to basically, I don't know what she does to Kiricho, but it can't be good considering he's like blurred out here. Like, oh my god, did she combine her scary unawakened blooming with the power of a yo-yo to kind of turn it into a mangled mess? That is scary when you think about it. But anyway, this is where Hiyofumi mentions something really, really on the level of like, yep, they're the Yozakuras, and they are scary, especially when it comes to medicine, where she mentions like, oh, when we got sick, Mama always made up some soup. It was really, 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 really yucky, and Fruit Spirit, she's like, oh yeah, that's the Yozakura soup. That's the medicine soup. That's a tradition in Yozakura family. Our mother and our grandmother, they were the ones who would make it for us too, and everybody hated it. Although I can. Oh no! Even Kiricho hated it. That is scary when even Kiricho is scared. You know something is scary when Kiricho is just, because you see them all there as Reed brings out the Yozakura soup in a flashback. It's just like, hey guys, hey kids, I heard you were a little bit sick, so I cooked up the soup. And you just see everyone's face just like, no, we don't want this. Like I said, even Kiricho's like that, which you know this thing is, yeah, you've got to stay away from this as much as possible, because even though Kiricho is a creep, the fact that even he is scared of that just says wonders to how insane and scary this soup actually is. As this mentioned, that it's the grossest thing in the world. They passed out every time, so no wonder Nano got the idea for the we're gonna create the world's best ultimate drug against coughs and sneezes and colds. But at the same time, it's going to pass you out before you can even scream. It's no wonder where Nano got that idea from. And of course, Mutsumi, being a mother herself now, has learnt this recipe. And what you see later on in the chapter with Mutsumi, because yeah, Mutsumi and Tao, they do come back in this chapter, which I am glad that they did that. We didn't spend a lot of time away from Mutsumi and Tao. They're now back into the forefront of the story. So even though we spent the last few chapters focusing on Alpha and Hiyofumi and their characters and how they interact with the family members coming in, it's nice that we get to the forefront of like, no, Tao is still the main protagonist of this series. So even though he's been out for the last few chapters, it's nice that we're actually finally getting back into him and finally gonna probably be finding out how he interacts with the other Yozakura siblings and what combined powers they will have moving further along with the developments that happen at the end of this chapter. But before we get to Tao and Mutsumi, we have Lando and Nano basically come into the room and being like, hi, is Alpha there? How's he feeling? And Fruit was like, oh, hello, it's nice that you were nice to our niece and nephew the other day. And Lando, I like to think he's not only just a fan of Tao, but he's also a massive fan of the other Yozakura siblings, because as soon as he sees Fruit, he's like, the white apples, can I have your autograph, please? You're the sister-in-law of Tao, so can I have your autograph, please? So I imagine he's just like a massive fan of all of them. Which begs the question of like how he would interact with Kiricho, because not only is Kiricho Tao's brother-in-law, he's the principal of the academy, so he'd probably be like, can I get some special treatment because I'm a big fan of your brother-in-law? Oh no, actually, Kiricho wouldn't have any of that, because he'd be like, you're a fan of my brother-in-law? Get out of here, spoiled little brow. And he'd be like, what did I do? But yeah, I love that. And Fruitsbet instantly recognises what's going on here with Lando. It's just, oh, you must be the Tile fan that we've heard so much about. And we go along and we get Nemo saying, oh, is Alpha okay to Hiyofumi? And Hiyofumi's like, yeah, it's fine, side effects from yesterday. Yeah, it's probably that. Sure, you shouldn't tell your aunts and uncles, but yeah, this is where Hifumi mentions like why Alpha doesn't want to tell doesn't want to tell them what is going on here. Is because he's very embarrassed that he can't control himself, and he doesn't want to. So I reckon that it's going to be the case of like Alpha's going to have to work with bad Alpha at some point and try to come to a compromise with each other, because it is a split personality. But I feel like eventually it will emasculate in Alpha being able to control that personality and being even more powerful than he is right now. I feel like that would be a natural step up for Alpha's character development, being able to control his other half. And again, Lando being Lando is just like, I'm so jealous of you. The fact that you got to be sick and be nursed by the siblings of Tao, that just makes me so jealous right here. I can't control myself. My other self is coming out here. I so want to say those lines someday. Aren't the coolest? Like, that's so Yozakura. So he's just like a massive Yozakura fanboy here. Basically, like all of us rolled into one of just being like a fanboy of the manga in the Yozakura family universe. So I imagine that this would be how most fans be at, like seeing for the White Empress, Kale, the Cowboy, Tao. Oh my god, it's Tao. He's the most coolest thing ever. Which he is in this series. He's gone through amazing character development with Tao. But yeah, Nemo at this point has just had enough of here. It's like, okay, Lando, you've had your fun here. Now, come on, we've got to get out of here. We've got to get some. We've got to let them get some nest. He's getting so annoying. So I'll take him on to be better. And Hifumi was just like, yay, thanks, bye bye. As we get Alpha reiterate to himself, like, just when he gets sick and spends all afternoon sleeping, he gets stuck lying in bed, so he basically has nothing to do at that point, and he has to get better soon so he can stop being a bother to everyone. And I know what it is. This isn't just any old cold. Every time bad Alpha comes out, this heat, this pain, it comes from deep in my mind. As we see this one little panel here of just like what looks like to be the development of I don't know what that actually is. What is that? Because it seems to be developing something inside his mind here. Like, again, is that the remnants of a blooming forming? I don't know. What do you guys think? And Alpha continues on by saying, oh, I get lonely when I'm not feeling well because everybody has to be away from me, and I wish I could talk to someone. I'm more sentimental than I thought. And this where while he's having an inner monologue of Tao just being like, oh, you'll be okay. I am here for you. I'll always look out for you. We see that Tao has actually arrived. So yeah, Tao's back. Woohoo! We knew he was coming back. It was only a matter of time. It just so happened when he was coming back. And now he's back. He's with his kids. He's with his family. Everyone's having this whole big massive reunion except for Nano and Shinzo, which again, like I said, makes sense for Shinzo to be the last one so that we can have the gold rank tests after we've had all the silver rank tests. So Nano's the last silver rank test that they need to go through. But anyway, aside from that, Tao says, oh, your fever's gone down, that's good, how are you feeling? And Tao apologised for it taking so long. We finally got some free time during our move. You've done a good job all alone. From now on, we'll be with you. So Tao being the best dad in Shonen Jump right now. Seriously, there is no call to name me one other dad in Weekly Shonen Jump that is as cool and awesome and just as good of a father as Tao is. Can't be done. Honestly, I'd love to. I guess, like, doesn't Sakamoto, the Sakamoto days, doesn't he have a family? Okay, Tao versus Sakamoto for best dad, who would win? But anyway, aside from that, Alpha is just like being entranced by Tao's just fatherly comfort here, and then we cut over to I and Ayaka. So they're here as well. I and Ayaka. Oh my god. Ayaka and I, they just look so adorable here, and they're just chastising Alpha, being like, why didn't you tell us you were going away before you actually go away? So I's gonna sing you a lullaby, and they're just like, no fair, Tayo, we have to have a turn with Master Alpha. And yeah, Alpha's just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry for going without telling you. And we then see Mutsumi coming in and congratulating Hirofumi and Alpha for doing such a good job getting 2 stamps already. So and they check his temperature and it's like, oh, it's down to 99 degrees, it's anything you want right now. And Alpha's just like, oh no, not now. But yeah, this is all a trap for Alpha. Like, Mutsumi is just being like, getting comfort and everything. So, is there anything you want? And he's just like, no, not now. No. As we see Hirofumi just wrapping him in a yo-yo, and it's just like confused, like, wait, Hirofumi, why are you doing? And then she says, I'm sorry, Alpha. And then it clicks with Alpha what is actually going on here, because we see Mutsumi holding a cup in her arms as she comes in, and it only just clicks now that Hirofumi has cornered him, has restrained him so that he can't escape, because as it turns out, it's the Yozakura soup that Mutsumi has bought, and she's like, yeah, I'm glad we got word you were sick before we left. We can't get the ingredients anywhere but home for the Yozakura soup, which consists of bell peppers, carrots, onions, livers, and over 100 ingredients seeped together to make the secret medicine only the Yozakura family knows. So, my God, I want there to be a page in the volumes detailing exactly what all 100 ingredients are. But my God, bell peppers, carrots, onions, livers. Yeah, just saying all that out loud makes me sick, because I'm not the biggest fan of liver myself, so I can feel the pain already. As Alfred's just like, no, wait, I'm all better. And Mutsumi just gives her a serious, like, mother look of just like, no, you are gonna take this. If you get sick, you get the Yozakura soup. It's a family tradition, Alpha. And it's just like, my God, that's the most serious badass moment that Mutsumi has had in the entire series so far. Nothing compares to it, just the seriousness on her face of just like, you are gonna drink it and you're gonna love it, Alpha. It's gonna make you better. And he's just like scared out of his pants here. And yeah, everyone else, no, Shion's just like, oh, deepest condolences, my nephew. And Keigo's just not even paying attention. He's just like, oh yeah, where's Goliath? And yeah, how old is Goliath? Has Goliath had some sort of techniques done to him where he's like basically immortal at this point? That is actually something that I really want to know. Is Goliath actually immortal? So then Futaba says like, oh, Goliath has gone to give Leviathan some snacks, and Alpha immediately gets better after taking the soup, even though he belched out, even though he vomited out about half of it after taking it. And Hirofumi was just like, Alpha, I'm so sorry, will you please forgive me? And yeah, I love this moment right here, because while Tao's just like, oh, it's always incredible how well that stuff actually works, and Mutsumi's just like, I'm glad you said that, my dear husband, because there's no telling if his cold would spread, so everyone should just join in just in case. And everyone's faces are just, Alpha's just like giving, yeah, Alpha just gives like the smug grin of just like, I'm glad I went through it first so that I don't have to go through the pain you guys have. So you guys are going to suffer just like how I suffer right now, because she made soups for basically everyone, and everyone's just like, no, don't use me. Don't. Like, even I and Ayaka are gonna get this, because if you remember when that chapter with Nanano going around with that drug that he developed for codes, Ayaka and I were the ones that were excluded because Ayaka was out at the time, and I had the same chimera properties that Goliath did, so she was excused as well. Not this time. Not this time. So I and Ayaka, you two are going to know what it's like firsthand to have a Yozakura family medicine put on you and how deadly it can actually be. And yeah, just everyone is just like, no. And yeah, she's just like, and Mitsu's just like, I don't care, it's family head orders, so you're all gonna do it. And I bet Kiricho's this is probably the only time Kiricho is glad that he's away from Mutsumi. I guarantee, when Koricho goes to see everyone and he's just there like, what the hell actually happened? And they're just like, Yozakura, soup! And then and then Koricho just sees Mutsumi holding another cup of soup, like, you've got to take it as well, Koricho. Koricho will be like, in two minds of like, I love you so much, Mutsumi, but at the same time, this is the only time I need to get away from you as quickly as possible. I guarantee that's probably what that conversation is going to have now. But speaking of Koricho, he's actually in his office on a phone call with Nanano, and he's just questioning like, what's going on, Nanano? And Nanano says, I'm sorry, Koricho. I will say I'm very interested in that white hair that you got from Alpha. Every Yozakura always has Momo chromatopic hair, so I guess they all have Momo's hair. I guess that's the thing. Black hair with indigo highlights and white stands. That's biologically impossible unless there's somehow a special exception like Mutsumi. That's exactly why then Creature's like, yeah, this is exactly why we need your help, because we need to analyze exactly what is up with Alpha and Hirofumi. And it's just like, I know I could probably find something if I look into it, but I'm sorry, I can't come back home. I won't. And Creature's just like, I don't know what's going on here. As we see now, they're all just attached to so many tubes in probably what looks like a tanker full of fluid, and that's where the chapter ends. So, yeah, party jams. So overall, really, really fun chapter here. Just I'm basically not much. It basically summed up in a single sentence: Alpha gets sick. Mutsumi makes a deadly medicine that seems to work. Everybody takes it. Everybody's traumatized by it. Koricho's on the phone to Nanano. Nanano's not coming home, and Koricho wants to know exactly why. So, yeah, fun chapter, but not really a lot that went on in this chapter plot wise. But we certainly got some interesting stuff at the end here. So yeah, party jams. Like I said, I agree with you that we're probably going to go on a rescue Nanano arc, and this is probably going to lead to Alpha and Hirofumi getting the third stamp from Nanano, so that we can move on to Shinzo, Futaba, and Koricho. Like, I still think Koricho's going to be the last stamp because he's going to be the hardest to get hold of. Now, what I think's going on with Nano here, Asa's captured him. That's basically the only explanation I can think of here, because it seems like he's biologically, well, not biologically, it seems like he's attached to some tubes, and it seems to be like he's in some sort of like status pod here, but can still communicate. So it's kind of like in the same way like Momo was, and the heart of Ri was at the end of the previous arc, where Asa was formally introduced. So yeah, I feel like if it's not Asa, then it's someone working for Asa, but Asa has to be behind what's going on with Nano, because that's the only explanation I can think of right now of what's actually going on here. Yeah, and it would make sense for Nano to be the first one captured, because he's the scientific brains of the Yozakura family. So if you take out that, then it's going to be something that the Yozakuras will definitely want to come after, and we know that Asa wants to get all the Yozakuras together. So yeah, they're gonna have to be extremely careful if they do decide to go after Asa, or it could just be someone working for Asa. You never know. Never know at this rate with this series where it's actually going to go from one place to the next. But yeah, I'm glad that we're not just going we're not just going like in order of like, oh, Nano's going to show up, Shinzo's going to show up, everyone's going to show up, do that, rinse and repeat. Like, we're throwing some twists and turns into here. But yeah, that's my theory, that Nanano has been captured by Asa, or at least someone affiliated with Asa, and they have to go and rescue him, like what Pyrojan said. But that's just my theory. For now, what did you guys think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.